So, how does a 5D mystic, empowered woman handle ignorant, unkind, maladaptive child behavior? And 3D and 4D people. Okay, so 3D and 4D people is straightforward. 4D are on Elsa's journey, and 3D are living the scarlet letter times. So we handle both with the right silence, as we do handle the unkind, maladaptive child behavior. Why the right silence? First of all, it's because they are ignorant. They're ignorant educationally. No, not necessarily. They could be regurgitating a bunch of material to you. They're ignorant mentally and emotionally. They don't have integration of the brain. That's why they're a maladaptive child. So we have their teenager who is basically trying to make a point instead of having what is a nice exchange. Okay, so an empowered woman is not interested in having any time used in ignorant conversation. And as a 5D mystic, the other part is we do know who we are going to expand with. So on a soul level, and I'll use that word for now, but you can look at it as an energetic imprint, our oversoul expands. Okay, so we know the pieces of consciousness that we'll be expanding with. We know the ones that are stagnating, 3D and 4D, they're stagnating. Stagnation happens because they don't do emotional lifting. They don't want to go to good therapy. They don't also do emotional accountability, and they don't do self-awareness. So they come to you with their maladaptive child behavior. They come to you with their blamer and victim attitude, that's the squirrel, or the martyr and superior attitude. They are both equations of codependent type people. And when they bring you their drama, which is their projection and their unfinished business, from the 0-1 attached panicky to the 3-7 shame submissive, they're going to be human beings who did not, again, get that inner child out. And so they're not the 0-1-year-old or the 3-year-old of themselves just yet. They can get here, but usually they're too busy blaming the others that are in their life and or the external, conspiracy theories, the devil, demons, spiritual warfare, technology, what else? The polyamory community. They're blaming humans. So we have misanthropists, political stuff, religious. They're blaming shame, blame, fault, revenge. They're all in safety behaviors. So none of those people will have the capacity to be emotionally aware of themselves or mature yet because they're choosing to be willfully ignorant. I don't know, but they definitely are choosing to ignore that they could speak. And so when somebody calls me stupid or basically doesn't understand that I'm attachment trauma informed and that I'm not making up shit from my ass, but that the attachment trauma researchers have done all the research, I'm not going to try to insist. So like also I bring human, spiritual, and spirituality elements together. That's why I'm sharing the voice of an empowered woman who is an empowered, enlightened mystic. This is not something you can prove, but I can explain it to you. So enlightenment the human way is when you have a flexible, adaptive, coherent, energized, stable brain. It means that you are able to consistently interact with people because your nervous system is regulated in that ventral vagal nervous system, your mammalian heritage in mind. So you're not dysregulated and you're not dysfunctional. It means that you know healthy self-worth, but you feel it here. So here it's open, not closed. Also not broken. No pull of loneliness, no envy, no jealousy, none of that. No like, oh my gosh, the elephant is on the chest and I'm about to die. Okay, so emotions, we have 6 basic emotions. When you have a window welcome to them, that's why it's not hard to feel. It's because my inner child lives here and I'm the grown-up. I'm my safe haven, it's called, regulating your own nervous system. I'm also my own secure base. Means I go off into the adventurous world and I know that every moment the roof could fall on me and I could die, but I'm still going to have fun and feel it here. That's your opportunity with personal development and your own self-help, and that's because you're motivated to inspire your infinite higher human consciousness potential experience. I get to share with you what it's like, and allow you to know it's enlightenment the human way again. So restorative embodiment, you can look those words up, but the practice, yoga can help you get there because it's a ventral vagal portfolio of toning exercises, and mindfulness, that involves 3 pillars of the mind. So your attention, focused attention, awareness, and then we have the lovely kind intention. But I like to integrate neutral neutrality and duality. Because sometimes if you're pissing your pants, you're going to be like, I don't want to be nice right now. I don't want to be kind. But you need compassion. It means your body needs to feel at ease. Because see, the state of compassion in your body is also what people don't know. That's why they don't know when the experts say we need to be compassionate towards ourselves. They don't understand what they're talking about. I do, because I learned about child parts, and again, I'm trauma and attachment informed. Okay, so on that note, when I'm dealing with any ignorant, unkind, maladaptive child behavior, I know that I've got somebody that is in a dysfunctional nervous system. I'm not going to talk to them. I'm going to try and reason with them, and that's going to depend on what they're doing. I'm going to notice by the time I'm trying to get coordinated with them on number 3, if they're going to open up and become vulnerable, if we're going to talk or not, or if they're going to have a teenage Cusco attitude. Okay, so that depends on them. If they're open to their inner child, if they're not, then they're not going to want to engage with the 5D mystic empowered woman, because my ventral vagal nervous system will let them know that I'm a confident human being. So like the teenagers who didn't like my confidence and they thought I was an evil bitch, an evil witch, a snob. No, I wasn't a witch yet, but now you better bet that there are people who think I'm an evil witch. And I laugh every time I hear that somebody's scared of me, because I'm like, really? That doesn't make any sense. You know what I love is when my friends, the ones who understand that I conceptually don't understand how people perceive me, allow me to understand how I am perceived. So that's very helpful. And here's where 5D is Christ consciousness, because Jesus stands as a man who walked the walk and talked the talk. So I'm honored to know that he stood for love and forgiveness. Forgiveness is not about justification. The past doesn't repeat itself, but you need to have emotional maturity to be there. As long as your inner child still needs you to heal and to become your grown-up version, here's where Patrick Tiahan, come on over. He's a great person. He's a childhood trauma survivor. Healed and healing is what I always say, and he's a good therapist, and he helps people who want to stop dating human beings and have codependent type awful relationships. He helps people to know that confusion is protection for those who do not want to be seen because they did not get seen. So they did not get soothed. They did not feel safe or secure to be their beautiful self. I, on the other hand, did have all those, and now I can stand here as a 44-year-old woman who's a solo polyamory person and say, never been hard, to mention that I'm a mystic, to mention that I love more than one person and more than friend, and to know some might say, are you a whore? Okay, wow, really? Interesting. Sleeping around, that's not what polyamory means, but I understand the confusion. And so when you are empowered, you don't take offense because it's not personal. You like to have conversations. What I love even more is meeting actually empowered men. Okay, so an empowered man is going to be intellectually and emotionally interesting to engage in and with. That's because I'm an empowered woman, though. So unlike the women that I meet who basically think that empowerment means that they're going to go and insult another human being, use their hands. Yes, I don't in any way, shape, or form appreciate when I have to put up with that. That's an unkind, maladaptive child behavior. That's a squirrel from Cusco land. But because I know that it's a victim, which means that they feel helpless, I remember something along these lines. And also that I'm not their therapist, nor do I want to, and I will not be doing any of the sort, because they're usually people that I know, friends and whatnot, because any person that does IHP mentorship with me will have, before we even begin, okay, how serious are you about mental and emotional maturity? Because I have no plans to use any of your time or my time for somebody who wants nothing to do with their inner child. And also, the fact is, if we need a good therapist, the acceptance of that, not with, are you saying I'm fucked up? No, nobody's fucked up, actually. Are you saying that I need, no. So this tone thing that people have out there, it goes in a lot of different ways. If you're serious about yourself, you're going to appreciate all that IHP has to offer. And I see those people out there, some of them, but I also see the opposite. I don't want to journal or do that. You obviously don't understand how to expand your window of tolerance, so let me explain it to you, Okay, so this Ellen Bader, PhD. Early developmental trauma takes place in the context of kids feeling helpless, feeling frightened, feeling like things around them are out of control. Usually it takes place with parents or primary caregivers not being able to regulate the child's emotions. Okay, so a 5D mystic empowered woman will not be discarding any human being at all. And that's because all people are people. But they will be getting the right silence, and they will be shared words to the best of my ability whenever I have to deal with ignorant human beings. Women particularly are the ones who come to me and they are pointing fingers at men, and I will share how best I can, not only attachment trauma information, but I will also share not to be unkind and to remember about the child parts of human beings. So it's not about justifying, it's about, do you know Jesus says forgive them? Are you telling me you think you're Christ consciousness? Because I don't see that happening right now. So if you have no room yet to feel open-hearted and forgiving and to have compersion, to want joy for another person. So if you have envy, jealousy, spite, revenge, you have shame, blame, fault, you've got anger, you've got pent-up emotions. This is called, I want to go get a good therapist. Yeah, go get a good therapist. Process it the grown-up way. Don't harbor it, resentment. Don't harbor any of it. Don't come to a person talking about you being treated a certain way and then not taking the ownership of emotions. I don't want to do personal development. Really? Really, after therapy, you don't know what personal development is for? So people like to use words, fancy words. No, they're words. I use words differently because I try to expand on the concepts. In fact, I don't do buzzwords, as you all have noticed. And when I meet the maladaptive child behavior, I usually will notice it by their tone, their mannerisms. They will be ignorant the minute that they stop me from sharing what I'm sharing by giving me some other excuse for why it's okay for them to be mean to another person. Their unkindness is an example of their misanthropy, whether it's the human thing or what's the other ones, about the ones who are against men and women, all that stuff. Yeah, all of the things that we got going on, like teenager land, it all sounds like Mean Girls. Misanthropists, misandronists, misogynists, and then we got the misogamists. Those ones, I won't ever get married. I won't get married because I am way beyond certain things, meaning you see out there in the world emotionally insecure and immature people. This is what I have to say. So it's not about men or women. I see men, women, and days talking still. It's 2024. I feel so old sometimes, and I know I'm not. But since teenage years and young adult years, I was aware of, I'm a human, you're a human, we have feelings. What are you doing? Why are you not able to build a snow person? Okay, so we do personal development here, and we build relationships here. I don't do the context of, if I wanted to debate, I would have stayed within my other career, political science stuff. I didn't. I chose not. That's not where I'm going to help people. Those people can do their stuff. I'm here to say, here's what it's like to be your own self. Love being a woo-woo pseudoscience lady. And it wasn't hard to get here. Thank you, Jesus. In fact, Jesus was welcomed with mistrust, disbelief, fear, non-acceptance. And the 4D, well, I will choose to be rightfully silent. They can use a good therapist. And so when I meet ignorant, unkind women, I will know that I'm in front of a person who doesn't want to go to good therapy. And typically they are a person who thinks they're superior to another human being. And if they're instead in the blamer, they think that they now have a right to be aggressive and mean towards another human being. So those are both pent-up energies, and both equal a person who did not and has not yet chosen to reparent their child. Men, they get passive-aggressive, handling it the same way. No, with the women it's silence, because they bring you basically that they're a victim of a situation. The men will get in your face like a clown. That's when I have different types of ways that's not going to go very well. If you are a person I consider to be my part of my future, you're going to get the direct communication, because I'm going to have assumed that you could handle it. And that's when you find out, well, some people don't know how to handle a ventral vagal nervous system. So you feel a bit sad and bad about it, because you don't mean to scare anyone, but then again, you also then get judged, FYI. So yeah, when people call you an evil bitch, an evil witch, which you're not, you just are a person who knew how to stand. You're also not going to say, yeah, I'm smarter than they are. But no, none of that. None of that happens. What happens is, did you not have balls? I know I have a vagina, like the whole, what is this? How old are you? And then, like I said, you're like, wow, it gets really sad when you figure out that people carry with them their 0-1-year-old. So I'm serious. I'm very sad for having not had always the information of the child parts, because I know how to be quiet. I'm respectful of people's differences, and the emotional and mental is what I'm talking about. So if I have a person who does not want a healthy self-worth partner, I'm not going to be like, please stay. And if I am able to comprehend, which now I am, that my being able to stand in my power and tell you what I think is scary, I'm not going to. I'm just going to leave it alone. And that's it, because there's nothing that we have unresolved. We have what is called a recalibrating relationship. So ignorant people get recalibrated. Very straightforward. We love all people, and we love to expand consciousness. Obviously, if they're up to working with their maladaptive child, then we're going to grow those 5D relationships. It's always about unconditionally loving with flaws and imperfections, being ourself, hold 3-year-old hearts, hold 1-year-old hearts, taking therapy seriously. Mysticism, again, can be woo-woo, pseudoscience. Everybody's welcome. I look forward to being back again. Have a good one.